Can you stay loyal? Can you stay focused to your vision, to your manifestation, whatever you want, whatever your desire is? Can you stay loyal by knowing exactly what you want and keep on having that faith into that thing and that it's gonna happen sooner or later if you keep on staying loyal, if you keep on staying faithful, if you keep on being in that knowing state of pleasant expectancy because you know it's gonna happen. You know for sure it's gonna happen, because why would you suffer? Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. I'm finally back on here. I was being sick for the past 1.5 weeks, almost 2 weeks now, because once I went out and had a little fun. It started to rain and we thought it's so fun to just start dancing in the rain, right? Like romanticize your life. And what happened was, after that weekend, I was completely sick. So I'm slowly getting better. My nose is still a little bit stuffy, so I hope it will be still okay for this video. Anyways, I hope you all are doing well. Thank you so much. I got so many messages from you guys wishing me well, and I just appreciate you guys so much. In this video, we're gonna just catch up a little bit, and I'm giving you the weekly mindset pep talk you didn't know you need. First of all, I wanted to share with you all that I started a very big step on my healing journey. And although I believe self-help is so important and just self-awareness in general is key to bring yourself out of a dark place without relying on anyone else, I really found it to be the right place and the right timing to really also seek professional help. I always wanted to do therapy since a very long time, but I kind of didn't feel like I found the right therapist for the longest time. And I felt like therapy is going to be the right step into the right direction to actually seek professional help. So I'm not just going to any therapy, I'm actually using BetterHelp, which is also the sponsor of this video, and I'm so grateful because I always wanted to work with BetterHelp since I actually started my YouTube channel, because I believe it's such an amazing platform because you can literally do therapy from the comfort of your home, being able to choose the right therapist for you. Basically, all you do is you log into the platform, you answer a bunch of questions, and usually within the next 48 hours, you are getting a certified therapist for especially what you are looking for. That was exactly my experience. I answered all these questions, wrote down my situation, how I was feeling, and what are my issues, and what I expected from therapy or what kind of therapy I wanted. And then I think it was like the next day, or 1.5 days later, I received an answer and I got a certified therapist that I could communicate with and also book my first session. So now I've been doing the sessions for a month, and I haven't been sharing it with you because I first wanted to test it for myself, how I actually like it. And now I can honestly say that I'm so happy that I started doing it. I feel so comfortable. My therapist is super reassuring. He's super nice, super kind, and he really always makes sure that I feel good with whatever I'm sharing. I've been really comfortable with sharing about my past. Of course, it's not always easy to talk about, but I can already see my body having less and less reactions. Usually, like when you experience trauma and it gets saved in your nervous system, you will always kind of feel like that emotional response from your body showing up whenever you would talk about your past. And that would happen always to me when I shared about my past. Like I would get shaky and I feel like almost like freezing and getting cold. But now I'm realizing I'm really starting to get better with sharing. I do not identify as much with that trauma anymore. Like I am okay with sharing what happened to me because I know that it doesn't define me, because I know it's not my identity or my entire personality. It's a part of my story, but it's not who I am. So I've been really content with BetterHelp, and it's so amazing that you have the opportunity to literally be comfortable at home. And I literally feel like I'm on a talk show. Like I have my own talk show and the only topic is me. That's how I call my therapy, all right? Like I will just keep on romanticizing everything and just taking everything with a little sprinkle of humor. So that's my personal outlook on therapy for now. I've been just so happy that I finally did it. I'm so proud of myself because yeah, for the longest time I didn't want to do therapy. And then I did wanted to do it for the longest time, but then I didn't do it. And now is the time. I started to unravel everything, and obviously everything comes in layers. I just receive a lot of support and guidance, and just somebody professional that knows what I'm talking about and that can really also relate to what I've been through. And I'm so grateful for BetterHelp to even give me this opportunity to share this with you. So now to the T, you can actually benefit from BetterHelp yourself because I have my own personal affiliate code. So if you check out my description box and you sign up and create your own account, answer those questions and stuff like that, you will receive therapy on a discount. So now back to the topic. As I was being sick the last couple of weeks, I really had a lot of time to just reflect and to just let my body heal. If disease is not really like a bad thing, we just give it such a bad meaning, but in the end, our body is not being at ease. It needs to release. It needs to heal itself. It has all the healing properties it needs, and you just have to let it happen. And usually when I was sick, I always wanted to find a way to just like quickly get better and to force my body to be healthy again. And I thought that there's something wrong with me, that I'm being punished for being sick right now. But I learned that, it's nothing bad. Like, your body is simply not at ease. And in order to be at ease, be in flow, be in alignment again, you just need to release what's not longer serving you. That's what I learned the last couple of weeks, to not rush myself, to just, be present with it, to sit with it, to just let my body heal and to allow it to happen. And also to be in a state of pleasant expectancy. Okay, usually we're always like, so okay, when it's gonna happen, we're rushing, we're constantly like forcing things or like being so impatient. But now I learned that with like now I'm really thinking like anything can happen. I'm just expecting good things to happen to me because I want them to happen. That being in that state of pleasant expectancy is the ultimate knowing state, okay? Because when you know that good things are happening to you because you deserve them, because you have this feeling of worthiness and, deservability, then good things will happen to you because that is your assumption. And law of assumption states that whatever we believe is true about ourselves and the world, what we experience, will become true, will reflect itself, because reality is created through you. I like to say that reality is a mirror, and as you smile into the mirror, the world will smile back. But you have to smile first, right? Like, I always talk about this specifically, like this mirror principle. You have to make the first step. You have to be the first one smiling. And by having this pleasant expectancy and assuming that good things are going to happen for you, even if your life falls apart, even if life is crumbling, if shaking, and you're just feeling like, why is this happening all at once? And why am I sick? Why is this? Why is that? No, like, everything that is falling down, falling apart, is for better things to fall together, to fall into place. And in order to create your new life, you must let go of your old life. You must release the baggage. You must let go. You must stop holding on to it. Because if you do, guess what? You're gonna keep on recreating that same reality that you actually want to escape from. I don't know if you know him, but I listen to a lot of content from Bashar. He basically says that life has no inherent meaning. We just give meaning to something. Like, nothing in the end is good or bad. It's all just an experience. But we constantly give it meaning by criticizing or judging or, comparing. Because in that moment where we're judging and criticizing, we give something a worse, like we give something a bad meaning, when in fact, like, sometimes it's just an experience and it's okay to happen. While we're constantly giving everything such a bad meaning and trying to just comprehend everything with our mind, like our mind always wants to comprehend everything, wants to give certain things certain names. And in order to like identify something, that's what the ego loves to do. Like, what if we would actually just give it a twist and start giving everything the most bestest meaning possible? Like, only the best experience happening, and like whatever bad is happening to you, it's only for something good. It's like, that's really how I'm thinking these days, and trying to see everything as something positive, always having that positive attitude, that positive outlook on life, that will bring you so much further and will make things so much easier, because you're not constantly spiraling, you're not constantly telling yourself that things are going to keep on happening, and you're not feeling so powerless. Like, who would want to feel powerless all the time by constantly saying, oh my God, only bad things are happening to me? No, just stop giving everything such a bad meaning. Like, give everything a good meaning, and you will see how everything starts shifting, because you're flipping the coin. Changing your perspective is truly flipping that coin, and it looks different from the other side, from the other perspective. So if you want to have a better outlook, positive energy, positive vibe, pleasant expectancy, you just need to flip that coin and start looking at things differently. You're allowing outside situations and other people to constantly affect your mood and your energy. You are giving so much energy and power away to those people, to those situations. It's not only that certain situation and that certain, person that is maybe affecting your mood or, affecting your emotional state. It is like, how many times are we reliving that? Like, are you going to tell it your mom, your grandma, your sister, your friend, your spouse, your best friend, your other friend? Like, how often are we talking about these things that are happening on a daily basis? How often are we like complaining about the same old thing over and over and over? And in that way, literally affirming that these kind of things are always happening to us because we're constantly reliving it. Like, can we stop normalizing, constantly complaining to every single situation multiple times over and over and over? Like, what does that do to us? Each and every time that you talk about these things, you're reaffirming it, and you're recreating, like reliving your past, recreating you're not being present in the now. You are not being a conscious creator. You're going to recreate your future based on those past experiences that are no longer there. You're literally making a huge ball of shit out of nothing. If you just could forget about that, like, have this 5-second rule. Be sad or angry about something for 5 seconds, allow it, like, be in that feeling, like, be emotional, but then let it pass. Because in 5 years from now, you're not gonna bother anymore. If it's not gonna bother you, like, this is how you can literally tell if something is worth being frustrated about or not. If you would be mad about this situation 5 years from now or not. If you keep on sharing this misery, these situations, talk about these people every single day to any single person that might or might not have asked, like, what do you expect from them? Actually, like, ask yourself, do you seek validation? Do you want empathy for people, for your oh so hard life? Like, what is this that you're actually needing in that moment? Because every single time that we do something, we are basically underlying trying to fill a need, okay? Whether that's feeling of security, feeling of love, feeling significant. There's always a certain need for our behavior. And sometimes different coping styles or different things that we would do are actually not, like, we try to have that certain thing that we do or say as our solution because we are trying to fill in a basic need. So really ask yourself what it is when you're acting out in a certain way, or when you're, talking about certain things, when you have the need to just be angry about something or be frustrated, whatever that might be. Ask yourself, what is the actual need that you're trying to fill in here? Like, is it that feeling for significance? Are you actually just longing for love? And how can you give that need? How can you fulfill that need? By doing something different that is less harmful, less negative, and that is more positive. For example, if you have a feeling of, seeking validation from other people, feeling like wanting to feel that empathy when you're sharing about your super hard day, for example, like, what can you do to make yourself feel that love in the now without sharing and complaining about things all the time? Next thing is that sometimes we try to really argue for our limitations, for our excuses, and trying to justify behavior because of our past. Like, we're playing into a certain narrative of why we are a certain way because it's just easier to describe to somebody why you are the way that you are, and or say things like, oh, that's just how I am because I went through this and that, instead of actually taking responsibility and choosing consciously to be different, choosing consciously to act different, instead of just finding excuses for our limitations and for our misery. So for example, I have a lot of people sometimes commenting on my videos, and there was a comment the other week where somebody used to constantly repeat what they've been through and to constantly repeat that as the reason for why they are the way that they are. And I get that. I truly get that. This is not to like mock on anybody. It's totally valid. Everyone's feelings are valid on how they feel and why they feel like they feel the way that they feel. But to an extent of, is it actually serving you or not? Like, is this serving you to keep on playing into that narrative and telling your story as the reason to why you are the way that you are and having that excuse for yourself? It's not going to actually help you. It's not going to bring you further. It's not going to make anything change in your life, rather than you, finding validation, finding empathy maybe from other people because they, show you maybe pity, or they show you love, and you feel validated in your way. You feel, maybe a little bit more loved, but it's not going to do anything with your narrative other than you keep on playing into it. So you have to always keep in mind that whatever you share, whatever you say about yourself after that I talked in my last video about that I am trap, whatever you affirming, whatever you are claiming and affirming after that I am, is how you are identifying with yourself. And usually those narratives are not actually our identity. We just got so used to identifying with that because we're constantly saying it and reaffirming it, that it's just so common and normal to say those things and to identify with it, when in fact it has nothing to do with your personality, with your identity, and you can always change it in a second if you become self-aware and if you become conscious about what you're actually saying and what you're claiming. So this person in my comments used to say, like, but this is my path and this is why I am the way that I am and this is my path, and kept on repeating it. And I was saying, you have to stop repeating it. You have to stop talking about it as if this is your entire identity. She would literally argue with me to have that excuse for her. But there's no excuse. Like, if I would now be like such a shitty person and I would like treat every person badly just because I was traumatized as a child, I would only harm myself and I would only harm others. So in this world of self-improvement, in this world that we committed ourselves to be on in our healing journey, in our inner work journey, in, becoming a conscious creator of our lives, we have to take that responsibility and we have to stop finding excuses. We have to stop arguing for, this is just how we are because of this and that. And oh my God, why life's so hard. And this is why I have to act now this way because I just always had it so hard in my life. Like, please. Can we stop that pity party? Going back to that mirror principle, like, how do you expect to see the world if you're constantly just venting about the world and venting about people? You're not gonna see a good reflection. You're gonna see that angry face that is constantly just complaining. Like, start smiling, sprinkle some humor into it and like laugh about it. Don't take it all so seriously. Sometimes it's just an experience, and sometimes these experiences are just there to show us, hey, like, you can actually break out of it. You do not have to repeat it. You do not have to keep on re-experiencing it. And the reason why it's constantly showing up is because you still have to learn that lesson. You still have to, you have some emotional attachment to it. Otherwise, it wouldn't keep on showing up all the time. I'm telling you, every single new moment that you're experiencing is that breaking point, that turning point where you could start making a new choice and where you could completely flip that switch and like flip the coin of your narrative. And that's a chance for you to change your emotional response. And that is how you start on healing your nervous system as well, because you keep your body being in check. You keep on stop reacting overly emotional. One thing that you got to do, especially when it comes to this knowing state and having pleasant expectancy that everything is just always working out for you, everything is just flowing in the right way to you, and whatever happens is just for your ultimate best. Like, if you really truly have that in mind. And for me, like, my faith was like a really big turning point, like last year when I felt to God and I really like prayed and I was feeling protected and I was feeling like God, no matter what, he will always push me into the right direction, no matter what happens. Even if I'm facing shitty situations, shitty people, shitty whatever, I know it always just happens for my highest good. I am in that knowing state. And if you are religious, if you have a special faith, like, if you don't believe in yourself, then believe in God. If you can't believe in you are yourself, your conscious creator, then believe that God is with you and God will guide you onto that path, and like, stay loyal. Like, can you stay loyal? Like, imagine you're in a relationship and you're constantly like questioning your significant other, or you're starting to look left and right whenever like a pretty person is coming by. Can you stay loyal? Can you stay focused to your vision, to your manifestation, whatever you want, whatever your desire is? Can you stay loyal by knowing exactly what you want and keep on having that faith into that thing and that it's gonna happen sooner or later if you keep on staying loyal, if you keep on staying faithful, if you keep on being in that knowing state of pleasant expectancy, because you know it's gonna happen. You know for sure it's gonna happen, because why would you suffer? Why would you suffer? Like, ask yourself, are you truly here to suffer? Do you feel like this is the ultimate way of living? A constant state of suffering? You probably will tell yourself, no. But in that moment when you're spiraling, this is the moment that you have to snap out, and this is when you need to catch yourself and be like, I'm spiraling right now. This is not how my life should be. Start rejecting that reality that you're experiencing right now. Be like, no, this is not actually what I want. This is what I want. I'm gonna keep on staying loyal to my manifestation. I'm gonna keep on staying faithful. And if you're saying things like, oh, my manifestation is not coming in, like manifestation doesn't work, it doesn't work for me, it doesn't work. You know what? Manifestation always works 24/7. Like, it's a constant customer support. There's no days off. There's no vacations. None of it. It's not that, like, after working hours or when happy hour starts, that is when your manifestations work. Like, after 5 p.m., it's just not going to work anymore. No, like, manifestation works 24/7. The universe in that way has no favors. It is neutral. God is neutral. It will just give you whatever you expect, whatever you stay faithful towards, whatever you feel like knowing it is yours. You're just making poor choices by constantly questioning, by constantly rushing, forcing, being impatient, and wondering what your manifestation is. Honey, it can't show up because you're constantly questioning it. Like, would you want to be with a partner that is constantly questioning you? Like, you really need to have that bestie kind of mentality when it comes to manifestation and the law of attraction, God, the universe, whatever you want to call it. Like, it should be your bestie, okay? The universe really wants you to be besties with you. It really wants to be in that loving relationship with you. But, like, how would you feel if your significant other would constantly question you? Why you're not showing up? Why do you never bring me flowers? Why you're never doing this and that? Why you're never showing up for me? Why blah blah blah? No. Sooner or later, universe would be pissed off and would freaking break up with you because you're just an annoying bitch. Like, nobody wants to have a partner that is constantly nagging, constantly complaining. Nobody wants to have a friendship like that, where it's constantly questioning. So the thing is, you cannot be in the knowing state and be in a doubtful state of lack mentality at the same time. That's called pseudo abundance, okay? You don't want to be pseudo abundant, you actually want to be abundant. But then you cannot keep on switching back and forth, switching that coin from lack to abundance, lack to abundance, lack to abundance. Like, can you decide? How loyal can you be? Yes, feeling things are important, but like, what are we gonna do about it now? Like, that is one thing that I also learned in therapy. Like, it's so important to acknowledge what you've been through, to acknowledge your feelings, to let them be valid, to embrace them as well, but also to not keep on being in that victim mentality. And in therapy, we talked about a winner's triangle and a drama's triangle, okay? So that's basically like a concept. So actually, I have it here right now. So if you are in the drama triangle, you either being like, you're literally like popping in between all those different kind of states, whether being a victim, being a persecutor, or being a rescuer. So basically what that means is if you're a persecutor, you're being very aggressive, angry, and judgmental about either yourself, your situation, or about others. Or you could be a rescuer. You're trying to be like super helpful, but mostly over helpful. You're self-sacrificing yourself constantly, and you just need to be needed. Like, it's so desperate. Or you could be a victim and you could feel like super helpless. Like, you could start to just blame everybody. You're just such a victim. Like, it's called learned helplessness. And you would always complain about your unmet needs and how poor other people are treating you constantly and all this kind of stuff, okay? So if you are on that drama triangle, obviously you can assume that your life is not really pleasant. You are definitely not in the knowing state of, pleasant expectancy. You are not, believing in yourself. You're not believing in others. You're constantly just like spiraling down, okay? And then we have the winner's triangle, and this is obviously the triangle that we want to be on, okay? So this one is saying that, you know, you could be assertive, so you know your own feelings, your needs and wants, non-judgmental, and you use I messages for explaining how you feel. So for example, instead of saying, you always do this to me, you say, I feel this and that way, and this is how this and this makes me feel. So you're not like blaming other people, you are just explaining your own needs and feelings. You are more nurturing instead of being a constant rescuer. You give help when you're asked for help. You are caring and understanding, and you don't need to be needed by others. Like, you know, you're fine when you're needed. You're gonna help them the best you can, but you're not gonna self-sacrifice for it, okay? And then also you can be vulnerable. Like, you can actually, like, you're okay with sharing your real feelings, and you are also accepting towards yourself. You know that you're not perfect. You know that you have work to do, but you're also not judging yourself and criticizing yourself and constantly like spiraling down. And this is obviously the triangle that you want to be on, kind of mentality and mindset that you want to have, that you're being assertive, nurturing, and vulnerable. This is what happens when you become self-aware and conscious about your patterns. And with this, I wanted to really encourage you to start realizing when you are in that drama triangle and when you are in that winner's triangle, and how you can actually snap out of it, because it just is a little bit of a twist to stop running for, you know, everybody, and to actually watch out for yourself a little bit, and to keep on still helping everybody but without sacrificing yourself, okay? So this is what happens when you learn to draw healthy boundaries, when you know who you are, when you actually just spend time with yourself, why you're behaving the way that you do. And this is shown to you by the triggers that you have, by recognizing these patterns and acknowledging them, and just simply becoming aware. Self-awareness is obviously key to everything, to being in that knowing state, to manifesting your desires. Like, being self-aware is just the ultimate goal, the ultimate state to be in, to doing that inner work and to keep on doing it. We want to be responsible. We want to start healing ourselves instead of projecting our shit onto others. Like, we should be that generation that has it, like, that stops it all, that stops the misery that is constantly going to be passed down into our generations. Because, you know, back in the days, it was not so common to go to therapy and to talk that open about therapy, to be that vulnerable. But now the times have changed, and now we can become the conscious creators. We can actually be that generation that changes everything that comes after us. Like, I want my future generations to not have to deal with what I had to deal with, and this is why I take responsibility and why I seek to overcome all my limitations. So guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. I'm so glad to be back. I so much miss talking to you guys. So if you like this video, give me a thumbs up. If you're new here on my channel, of course, subscribe to me so you don't miss out on any other videos. And I see you guys in my next video. Bye.